Welcome to each and every one of you this afternoon. Welcome to our sanctuary. The sanctuary is simply a place of refuge where we can come to be with one another, where we can come and know the presence of God. My name is Kevin, one of the pastors here at Central, along with BJ. On behalf of our entire congregation, we want to extend our sympathy to all of Carolyn's family members, and our thanks to all of the friends and community members, the family members who are here today. We know that there are others who could not be here today, but we're grateful for each one of you. To honor, to grieve, to give thanks, and to show care. That's why we have these services, to honor the gift of Carolyn's life, who she is, not just who she was, who she is. Her character, dedication, and love, her service to others, and the many ties that have bound us to her in different ways. We also grieve the sudden severing of many of those ties. Even as we honor life, we grieve death. And yet we give thanks, because death cannot sweep away the memories, the bonds of love that are still very real. We thank God for all the good things we each remember, and the most important things endure. For one day God will do away with death and wipe away every tear. Finally, we show care. As Carolyn's family has shown care for her, now we continue to care for one another. Surely you are walking through a bundle of emotions, family, an upcoming wedding, much to be joyful about. And share those joys, as I believe Carolyn would want you to share those joys. Share your care. Share patience with one another. And if the right words aren't there, just be together. And if you are a friend, if you're a community member, remember in the weeks and months to come after this service is over that a message, a call, a note, a memory shared can have real power. Don't forget to continue to show care beyond today. And as we begin this service of remembrance, I just want to invite you, if you're willing, to pray with me. God, who is with us in every moment of life, God, who is beyond the horizon of all we know and can see, God, who loves us beyond our understanding, help us to find hope, as Carolyn found her hope in you. We have no need to pray now for Carolyn as though she needed anything more from us. Your love has carried her through this life. Your love continues to carry her in a new life. We do want to take time in prayer to thank you for her life, to ask your help as we honor her in this homecoming celebration service. We pray believing that you come close to everyone who calls on you. You listen to our cries for help. You comfort us in times of need. So be with us. Be with this family. Thank you for wrapping your arms of unconditional love around all those here today, and for filling us with your peace, a peace that passes understanding. Amen. A special song to Carolyn, "His Eye is on the Sparrow." The words are an insert in your bulletin. We're going to do our best to sing this together and remember his eye is on the sparrow.
need just a second. Trying to get my poker face on. We chose "The Eye is on the Sparrow" because that was such a sentimental song for my mom. It's something that's been replayed through our generations of family when we are saying goodbye. It's something that was at my grandfather's funeral, my grandmother's funeral, and something that I know that she wished for herself. We didn't obviously expect to be here today. We didn't expect to lose our matriarch. But here we are. And how do you say goodbye to somebody who's been such a huge part of our lives and has made such an impact? So if I could, I'm just going to walk through a little bit of the journey because I want to honor my mom and talk about all of the wonderful things that she's done over the course of her life. So my mom was born in 1940 in Kentucky to a former coal miner turned reverend. My grandfather built the Liberty Baptist Church in Norwood, Ohio, which is just outside of Cincinnati. And he obviously married to my grandmother, Versabelle Owens Hill. And it was in that church that my parents met. And just under a year later, they married in 1959. They've been married for 67 years this year. A year later, in 1960, October, they welcomed their first child, Christopher Gabriel. And as you all know, Chris was something else, to say the least. So Chris, a little bit of a local legend, was born with Down syndrome, and in 1960, a lot of people were extremely not knowledgeable, I'll say that, about Down syndrome and that journey. And my mother faced a lot of challenges as a result of that. During that time, it wasn't unusual to institutionalize someone with Down syndrome. Her own siblings wouldn't let Chris play with their children at times. They told her that Chris would never walk or Chris would never talk, but he did. He did all of those things, and it's because my mom repeatedly patterned him. She would not give up on education. She fought for him, and she fought against even her own family to hold her head up and do amazing things, not just for Chris, but for others who also had diagnoses of developmental or intellectual disabilities. So, of course, Chris went on to become a Special Olympian and a jokester, a little bit of a politician. He never met a stranger. There was a lot of times when we would be out and he would say, "Hi, I'm her big brother." And I would say, "I don't know them." Don't know them. So I came into the picture in 1970. My parents had moved from Cincinnati to Saginaw, Michigan, and then from Saginaw, Michigan to Rochester, New York, where I was born. And I'm adopted, but you would never know it. And people always say, "Oh, you look just like your mother." And we have a little secret laugh about it because, of course, I'm adopted. But it always made for good entertainment and good fun. And she loved me just like I was her own biological child. She used to say, my brother and I were crazy. We would do a lot of jokes. We would do dances. I would put flowers on my chest and on my rear end and do dances to make her laugh. And she loved it. She loved every minute of it. She loved being a mom. And she said, "I don't know why God didn't see fit to send me a normal child," between me and Chris. In 1979, we moved to Florida, where my father had been working as the executive director of the ARC, and that's where our life really progressed as a family unit. My dad being the executive director and really being the force behind the ARC, but it was with all of us included. My mom was a huge part of that. She founded the Sunset Civitan, which is the only Civitan club in this area that's still left in existence. She made a lot of friends in the community. They would have poker nights with other community leaders, and they would have dinner parties, and they would host them. And of course, I was their aide, whatever they needed, whether I needed to cook or serve or whatever, for these dinner parties that they would have, and it was great. It was a great experience. Friends with a lot of the community leaders. Every Christmas Eve, we were at Bill and Billy Dean's house for Christmas Eve. Those were our big local philanthropists who supported Halifax Humane Society particularly. And my mom really enjoyed being part of the community. She didn't work until I was about 15 years old. She went back to work, and she worked for Children's Medical Services as a financial counselor. And then she created a lot of friendships when she was within that sector, friends that she hadn't had before. So she kind of had her own life too. Chris had moved into a group home. I was growing up, and my mom got to have her own kind of life too. We all did. But we were still a family, very much a family. In 2001, I welcomed my firstborn child, and I got to see my mom and my dad as grandparents. Something that, is a very different experience for anyone when you get to see your first grandchild. When you get to see your parent acting as a grandparent, it's a very different experience. And they were thrilled. They were thrilled to have Shane in their life. And I think it was on a number of levels. One, it was their first grandson. It was their first grandchild. Two, he was a boy, and he got to do all of the things that Chris didn't get to do. And Chris was also just so ecstatic to be an uncle. It was just a win for all of us. But I got to see my mother shine. I got to see things about her that I had forgotten. I forgot what it was like to be a kid, to watch her parent or grandparent. Because, as life goes on and we get older, we get impatient, we get irritated. I'm like, why are you calling me again? I know. And it's always the same thing. You're my sparkle plenty, and you're my glitter girl. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to get off the phone. I know, Mom, stop. In 2010, our life changed again when my daughter was born. And I got to see my mom interact with her in a way that I had forgotten again, because with Shane, he was the boy that they never got to have. With Remy, she was like watching my life over again. It's like watching the interaction, like watching my mom interact with me, but with Remy. She loved doing all the girly things. Let's have a tea party. Let's buy dresses. What do you need? What do you want? And it was she was the biggest supporter. And it wasn't without challenges, but she was very kind and very welcoming to everybody that she ever met. 10 years ago, we welcomed Satara into our family, and Satara has been just like another bonus granddaughter, and I would hear her bragging about Satara as well, and saying, oh, my granddaughter works at Halifax. And I love that she loved her just like she was her own, just like she did me. Even though I wasn't biologically connected to her, she was my mom. She was my mom. My biggest cheerleader, my biggest supporter, and the backbone of our family. So of course, you could never have enough time to prepare for any type of memorial, because if I had a year, I don't think I would be ready. By the way, if you didn't notice, this is my mother's wedding dress. And this sign that's below it hung above my parents' bed for decades throughout their life. But I wanted to bring it here today because I wanted everybody to experience that joy that they had 67 years ago when my grandfather officiated their wedding in front of probably more than 500, I think she used to say 800, in front of the whole congregation. They all came to the wedding. Of course, they didn't have a dinner, but they all came to the wedding. But when I was digging through all of the pictures and the cards and just the lifetime of things, like where do you even start? But I did find this one in particular that I wanted to share with you. And this is a picture of my parents from about 33 years ago. And you'll have to forgive me because I'm trying to make out her handwriting. But she says, "The only man in the world for me. The outstanding young man will be 60 this year with a new right hip coming up. He's going to be the outstanding old man, I hope. Still says, he married me hoping I'd be like my mother at this age," which she was. "I'm still working on myself and trying to grow like you taught me." And I think that's great for all of us, right? Like we're all still working on ourselves and trying to grow and trying to do wonderful things. But I love how much she loved my dad and our family. And yes, my mom could be difficult. She was a Southern belle, and she would welcome everybody into her home. And I said before, we're one family unit, the Gabriel family. In spite of all of our challenges, in spite of any arguments that we have, we're one family unit. And we, at the end of the day, I knew my mom, I could call her for anything. She was the one person in the entire world that I knew would have my back no matter what. I could be as mad at her as ever, and if I was down, she would be there. And it stinks that she's gone now. It stinks. So I'm not ready to be the matriarch. I guess I'm kind of taking that role. It sucks. I don't want to do it. I tell my kids all the time that the greatest love that you ever have is your children. That's the greatest love that you ever have. That's number one. And it's a one-way street. It's not reciprocated, and it's not supposed to be, They're your greatest love. You're not necessarily theirs. They love you, but they're not. It's different. What I found out with losing my mother is that there's an addition to that. Our children are our greatest loves. But when you lose your mom in that moment, it takes you right back to how you felt when you were 2 years old or 3 years old. And your mom is the center of your world. They just are. And you don't see it. There's only 2 times in your life when you may see it. 1, when you see them interacting with your children, or 2, when they're gone. So, at the end of the day, that's what I learned. I came right back to how I felt about my mom when I was 2 years old, and she was the most amazing thing in the whole wide world. And that's the way that I want to remember her for the rest of my life. And I hope that you all will remember her that way as well. You all have to take a hat because she was a hat collector, much to our dismay. She had more than these, but I thought, what a cool thing. Hopefully, you can take a hat and remember her and enjoy it. And please do, because I don't know what I'm going to do with all these hats. Take two. But thank you all. On behalf of the entire Gabriel family, I want to thank each of you for being here. We've had a lot of other people that have sent their love and support, and I really, truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure my dad does as well. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get up on stage and probably is jealous that I have the microphone and he doesn't, but whatever. I got it now. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope that you all can remember my mom as wonderfully as I do.
Thank you, Melissa, for that strong tribute. Take two hats, and if you can fit into this wedding dress, BJ is going to give you $1,000. Is that right? Oh, I'm sorry, $10,000. It is tiny. It's secret. It's not on the mannequin. It's pinned on the front of the mannequin. Even the mannequin would have gotten the $10,000 check. But apparently they broke the mold. We had in the order you see photo memories. There are photo memories. They're all analog. And so if you haven't had a chance to see the various pictures in the back, rather than a PowerPoint or a video, they're there in real life. The pictures, the wedding album, specials, moments captured on film. So don't miss those. I do want to take just a moment again to pray and to share a brief message. God, whose eye is even on the sparrow, we know that you're watching over us. And even as we have prayed asking for your peace and your comfort, we also want to take time to pray not asking for anything, but simply recognizing what you've already given. And we want to say thank you. Thank you for Carolyn. Thank you for creating her and sharing her life with us. Thank you for the love that still ties friends and family together with her. Thank you for 67 years of marriage and love, for the precious lives nurtured by Carolyn and Jean, for the gift of family. Thank you. For Carolyn's strong example of lifting others up, lifting hands of care, lifting a voice of advocacy, and daring to make a difference, even when others, before others quite understand. God, thank you. Hearing her story, knowing her choices, it inspires us. And her life shows us what good citizenship looks like, what family truly looks like. And so we must say thank you, God, for this one precious life. Thank you. Amen. In the Bible, in the book of Isaiah, we hear that prophet's words of encouragement during a time of exile and, frankly, exhaustion. I'll read from Isaiah beginning in chapter 40, verse 26. Look up into the heavens. Who created all the stars? God brings them out like an army, one after another, calling each by its name. Because of his great power and incomparable strength, not a single one is missing. O Jacob, how can you say the Lord does not see your troubles? O Israel, how can you say God ignores your rights? Have you not heard? Have you not understood? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of all the earth. He never grows weak or weary. No one can measure the depths of his understanding. He gives power to the weak and strength to the powerless. Even youths will become weak and tired, and young men will fall in exhaustion. But those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. It takes some imagination, doesn't it? Or at least some travel for you and I to get what Isaiah is saying here when he invites us to look up into the heavens and ponder the stars. Were we to do that tonight where we are, we'd see what? A dozen, maybe? Those of us who live in or near cities, there's just so much light that we can't really see. But maybe sometime we're out camping or on a cruise somewhere where we get a glimpse and realize, gosh, just how much light is overhead all the time and we don't see it. All those stars. My own parents made a trip way, way, way out to West Texas once, to the McDonald Observatory. And they went inside to have a presentation, see the museum, things inside while the sun was still going down. And then they came outside excited to see the stars out there in the middle of nowhere. And at dusk, they came outside and were disappointed to see these high clouds streaked across the sky. And they just said to each other, that's our luck. You drive 1,000 miles out here and there's clouds. But they stayed and they waited and they watched, and somehow those clouds got brighter and brighter and brighter still until my city parents, like this city boy, understood those weren't clouds at all. It was the Milky Way galaxy they were seeing. They were just so accustomed to clouds, they didn't know that could possibly be stars. And I don't know about you, but it's been a long time since I've seen stars like that. But that's what Isaiah means when he says, look up. You see all of that? God's not lost a single one of them. Brings them out every night. Puts them away every morning. Of course, we know that the stars are never really put away. They're just hidden from our view. All the time, in every direction, light is streaming our way. We're just not capable of seeing it all the time. And in life, we're not capable of seeing this all the time. We forget, and then we're reminded, maybe when we see the way a parent, grandparents, we see that stream of light again with new eyes. Those who trust in the Lord will find new strength, Isaiah says. They will soar high on wings like eagles. And that's still a promise for us. For Carolyn, that's not a promise anymore. It's a truth. It's her reality. She knows it. She has new strength. No longer bound by any frailties, she soars. But when we need strength, when we can't quite see all the light streaming our way, we can trust. We can soar. We can find new strength. Carolyn Gabriel was uniquely created by God, uniquely loved and known and cherished. What made Carolyn Carolyn is not gone. She's more herself than ever, renewed and whole and at peace. The question for us is, what have we heard? What have we understood? How have we glimpsed the light in her life that we can carry forward in our lives? Not just talking about it in a church somewhere, as nice as that can be. How can we embody the same strength, the same spirit, the same light? There's one last poem I want to share with you. It's an old poem, so I've sort of updated some of the language. It's also an anonymous poem, so I can't give credit to whoever penned these words, but even more than a poem, it's a prayer. Hear this. O God, who holds all souls in life and calls them unto yourself as seems best, we give them back, dear God, to you who first gave them to us. And as you did not lose them in the giving, so we do not lose them by their return. For you do not give as the world gives, O Lord of souls. That which you give, you do not take away. For life is eternal, and love is immortal, and death is only a horizon, and a horizon is nothing save the limit of our sight.
Let us join together again in singing "It Is Well With My Soul." It's going to be found in your hymn books, in the pew racks in front of you, those green hymnals, 410. We'll sing the first and last